This is Devin Mann from Man Versus. The following episode of Man Versus was recorded at All In Recording Studios. In order to win, you got to be all in. You hear me? All In Recording Studios. Let's get it, baby. What's up, y'all? It's Devin with Man's Versus again, and I have a very awesome special guest. Some of you actually may know him. We have the most infamous, awesome, coolest dude I know. He's a rapper in Atlanta. His name is BOREGARD, but I know him as Bokri. How you doing, bro?
I'm doing well. Just want to go state for the record. That's my first compliment from Devin. So I'm just taking that in for a second. No, I'm playing, bro, just for those who don't know, like me and Devin have known each other since freshman year of high school, and just been boys, always keeping it real with me. It's always pushing me to be a greater artist. So I'm happy to even be here right now.
Oh yeah, this is my boy. We've known each other since, like you said, freshman year in high school. We didn't start off as friends, but it blossomed into a really good friendship. It blossomed into a really
the best foundation.
The best foundation.
When you start as enemies, bro, like come on.
You weren't even my enemy. I was your enemy. I didn't like you, but you were like, I don't have a problem with you.
I was like, this nigga, you were like, did you do something to him? I was like, I don't know.
You were so confused. You were like, I literally said like 10 words to this guy. One day he just didn't like me and said it very loud. But yeah, so this is my boy Bo. As you guys know, this season, I'm trying to switch it up, have professionals in the, in what I want to talk about and how, life goes on. And, I want to get someone that I was actually close with, who's been in the game, in the industry, because I'm also in the media industry as well. But he's on a different aspect of it though. But yeah, you want to tell the people, about you, who you are, what you do, because you got like some shaka going on right now, like some shaka Zulu.
Right. Some African culture, all my vibes, all that stuff. Man, about me. I've been Bokri for all my life, but BOREGARD probably came out in like 2012, 2013. That's kind of when I was kind of really embracing that aspect of my artistry and really like seriously considering I know a lot of folks rap and they make a song, but it just felt different. I was like, I'm not where I want to be yet, but this is something I want to work on, and I really want to I want it to be synonymous with my presence, like just the music, my art. I really want, that was just one of my goals early on. So, I always liked to work with people who would push me, because with art, I feel like one thing that holds a lot of people back is from an early stage, they you can get complacent. The first goal is oh, we made a song, yeah, you want to put everything out. But recently I've gotten to a place where it's I'm finishing songs and throw them in the vault, and then I just have more options because I actually have more good songs, more of a catalog and stuff like that. But really one thing that I find to be an important aspect of my journey is honestly school. Because even I'm talking to you now, we met in school, that's high school, but nice. Even you came to visit me at college so often. A lot of my earliest collaborators, a lot of the people who gave me support, I met them in school. You know what I'm saying? They were coming to my dorm pre-gaming every weekend, having a kickback. You know what I'm saying? And they were Bokri fans before they were BOREGARD fans. And sometimes that doesn't work, but when you're really working at your craft, it can work for you. And it did, and I'm very appreciative of it. What were you saying about the rap game? You said so what do you not like about it?
So yeah, that's one of the things I wanted to talk to you about when I brought you on here, because I was thinking, so your rap is what I would consider rap that I actually like, because first off, I can hear it, I can understand it. You know what I'm saying? Even outside of the the chorus being catchy or the hook being good or whatever, it's when you actually rap. And even in some of your songs, I'd be like, oh, I know exactly what he's talking about. I was there at this moment.
Yeah.
Or
yeah. Oh God.
And things like that. But see, with a lot of rap people now, people that want to be rap, like you said earlier, people just want to make songs, make music, oh, I'm a rapper. And it's like, are you really a rapper or do you rap? You know what I'm saying? Like, there's a difference. Like, are
Yeah.
you like an athlete or do you just work out? You know, like,
Yeah.
do
Yeah.
you run or are you actually like a track star? You know what I mean? And so I feel like a lot of people nowadays is views over sustenance, you know,
Oh,
like
yeah.
it's hard to make good music, like quality good music, you know, like a good album, like 12 to 15 songs. You know, you sit down, you write it, you know, you got 4 or 5 singles, you know, you make music videos for those songs, you put your money, your time, your effort, your energy, your whole being into, you know,
Mhm.
an album. That's why like some albums with some artists are so good because you can tell like they put their all into it. Like August Alsina, right? Like his
Mhm.
first major album that you know went global, Testimony, was like he has almost zero skips on that. You know what I'm saying? Because
Oh
like
yeah.
he's telling his life story. He's like, this is my like as the title implies, my testimony.
Oh, yeah.
Like this is my testimony to my life. Because you know, like
His
he
recent story a little crazier though, right? No, I'm
yeah,
playing.
he's going through it. He made that tweet the other like a couple weeks ago, like this is my last rotation on the earth. I hope he's okay. I hope he's not, you know, thinking of dark thoughts
Oh
anymore.
yeah.
Yeah, man. It's
Nah, he's had a tough life though, so man,
yeah,
I
he's
know.
had yeah,
But
man.
yeah, prayers for August Alsina, bro. We did not.
He didn't
I
get
don't
the
wish that
love.
upon anybody.
He didn't get the love that I thought he deserves because like his music's so good, but he people in the industry wasn't fucking with him. Like he's
Oh
had
yeah.
one of the saddest stories I heard in my life. Like I think both his siblings died. He takes care of like his siblings' children's, like his nieces and nephews. He was sick for like 4 or 5 years. Like it was sad. But
Oh
that's the
yeah.
thing that makes his music so good. Is
Because
because
you know where it comes from.
you know where it comes from because he has something to tell. You know what I mean? Like I was just telling you about this song that I heard, like "Who Wants Smoke with Us?" Who wants?
Mm-hmm.
Right, that song is lit, but I don't like it because it's not saying anything. Like it's just it's a catchy, you know, thug song or whatever. And
Yeah.
even then with thug songs, like there's trap songs that tell stories like Jeezy, Gucci, you know,
Oh
Walk
yeah.
the Flock, you know, them like back in the day, like 2007, 2008, 2009, 2010. Like they telling songs like
Ti, you
yeah,
know,
yeah,
but
you know what I'm saying? Like they telling songs, and I don't really like to stay of the rap game now because like all this like this mumble rap shit. Like what do you think
see,
about that? I can't fuck with it.
so you know, first I'll preface this by saying I'm an artist, so I'm typically more open to like just new art, new mediums in general, and like where you see it as like taking like the downward turn, I see it as just growing. And it's just like rap's always just gonna change. Like you look at it throughout the eras, bro. Like rap that came out in the 80s and the rap that came out in the 90s, you could hear the difference. And like niggas in the 90s were talking about this shit is not rap. Like this is rap. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? And it's
yeah,
like there's always resistance to change. So like I try to be like, and then also one thing I also try to remember is like at the end of the day, when I'm listening to an artist, whether they're a mumble rapper, they're articulate, conscious rapper, whatever, I do remember that they are expressing some aspect of themselves. And like if the way that they best express themselves is like with a croon, sometimes that's like there's some emotions that can only be conveyed like when you kind of like alter your delivery with that too. And that's one thing that I feel like is more present in today's music. And like we did sacrifice some clarity for it, like inevitably, yeah, not inevitably, but like at a large rate. Like it's kind of like because there's a lot of songs that I love to death. Like, bro, I mean, even when I was in high school, freaking Rich Homie and Young Thug, bro, like the tour, like Rich Gang, like all that stuff, bro.
yeah.
I was
You just
playing them
talked to me.
songs hundreds of times, and
Yeah.
like I could not rap the verse bar for bar for you. Like, there's a gibberish bar coming in because it was just like I don't know what he's saying, but you feel that. I feel
It's
like that's a
satisfying.
different type of talent when like it's kind of like when I turn up to like a fucking French rapper. It's like I speak some French, but it's like it's really how he flowing and how he's feeling. And it's like, yo, like, all right, I'm in this, you know. So like, I try to see it through the eyes of. This sounds really ridiculous. I try to see it through the eyes of someone who doesn't even speak English. That's how I kind of approach the song first, and then when I can get that deeper meaning, that deeper value from it, then it's like a second, it's like, oh, I love it even more. And that's why like folks like Young Thug are just incredible, because like so sonically appealing. And then like if you do take the time to really like break it down, like bar for bar, there's just some like even crazier layers to it, you know. So
I think that's a little bit
I think,
different though,
yeah.
because I think comparing Young Thug, who I think everyone would consider as a genius, you know, lyrically,
Mhm.
and even if you can't understand some of the things he says, like the vast majority of his songs, you're like, yo, this guy's like, he's different. Like he
The
is
truth,
on
yeah.
a different level. And then there's people like I'm trying to think of a rapper, like Lil Pump, right? Who made Gucci Gang. Like,
Mhm.
okay, I get it. Art is very
I th-
subjective. Like art is very like, okay, well, you have to look at it from this person's point of view. Okay, I get it. But some shit is just bullshit. You know what I mean? Like Gucci Gang, like Gucci Gang, Gucci
yeah.
Gang, Gucci Gang, Gucci Gang. Like, what type of avenue are you trying to go in? Gucci Gang, Gucci Gang, because like even in photography, right? Like I try to tell, you know, like my friends or people that ask me photography, they're like, yo, is this a good picture? I'm like, I mean, what is a quote unquote good picture? But some pictures you look at and you're like, yeah, that's a terrible picture.
Like without a doubt, you're like, I'm not,
don't upload
I don't
that.
want
I
to look at
know
this.
that's not going to
Yeah.
get clients. Don't put that in your portfolio. Don't put that on your website. Don't put that, you know, anywhere like that's not going to get you what you want. But I get what you're saying about the whole subjective, like, because like there are different styles of like even in photography, right? Like, you know, there's different types of rap, but in photography, like, you know, you have like just regular, you have beauty shots, you have Bourdieu, you have, you know, black and white, you have you know, products, like, you know, I get it. It's all very subjective. But even in that lane, right? So like I would say your type of actually correct me if actually no, you tell me. Don't correct me if I'm wrong. You tell me. So what would you consider your genre of rapping?
That's the thing. Is like, it's I hate when niggas say this, like, I can't be defined. But like I do aim to be versatile, like for real. Like I would say it's somewhere between lyrical and party, because I can't consider myself a conscious rapper, but it's definitely, you know, like there's bars there. You know what I'm saying? Like I might not always be talking about something like deep, but I will make you think. I'll put an image in your mind, like a vivid image in your mind if I can. Like that's always one of my goals. Or I'll make you laugh, make you, you know, feel like, oh man, I get tickle your ear. You know, that's like one of my goals. Like,
Yeah.
so it's like a notch less funnier than comedy. Um, like with hints of trap. It's really just a product of my environment. You know what I'm saying? Like we went to private school, but we grew up around a lot of folks who didn't, you know what I'm saying, type stuff.
Yeah.
So it's just like it's like I'm like the perfect storm, I guess.
Yeah, we was definitely doing stuff in high school. I was like, we should not be here.
Oh, bro. Anytime we went to a party on the
Like
weekend with
when we were in
y'all,
Riverdale, like we were in
I was like,
Riverdale, like
yo,
around all the like, I was like, I was like, we definitely like we're in the wrong area. Like we need to go down the street like 20 minutes that way. Like especially
all
like in
for some
the
twerk.
warehouse parties. I was like, yeah,
All for some twerk, boy.
bro.
All for some twerk. Lord, we was ready to die.
Bro, twerk in what was that like 2010? Twerk in 2010 was different. Like
Dog was playing every bro. When Dog was in regular rotation, bro, everybody was getting twerk, bro. The nerd, the lamest nigga would be on the floor getting twerk, bro. Like,
bro, oh my god, bro. And then like that's when people actually dance at parties, you know. Like nowadays, people
oh
don't
yeah,
really dance at like it's complained a lot
oh
that a lot
yeah.
of people don't dance at, but like people just stand there. Like these new niggas, like they just stand there. Like I went to homecoming, right? Kennesaw's homecoming.
You know,
It's
just
not
like
even my
posted
last
up.
year. Yeah, like the alumni and the seniors. Oh man, turned up, dancing, everything. You know, like we lit, you know, folks drinking, yeah, except yada yada yada. Then the new niggas on the other side, it's like they just standing there looking around. And my homeboy Dewan, he's kind of like a host a little bit of the homecoming for like the side that we were on. And he was like, y'all niggas weird, bro. He's like, all this music,
That
like y'all ain't doing nothing. Like y'all ain't, and no matter how often he said it, they would just stand there. I was like, yeah, these niggas is different. Like don't no one dance, don't no one do nothing no more. People kind of just stand there. It's like, what's the point of even coming out anymore? Like the whole industry, the whole scenery don't change. Like, I want to do it no more.
Yeah.
You're a
Now
loser.
stuff's different. Like even when I go to like a club or a bar, you could tell when it's like 21-year-olds and like fake IDs in there, or you can tell when it's like, okay, these are all people, they came to turn up. You know what I'm saying? But
Yeah.
also it makes me want to bring up like kind of that's the greatness of the artists that are kind of like the Lil Pumps, you know, because it's just like the same way that the generation, like the newer generation, sometimes like we can't get a reaction out of them because it's like, oh, what about this? What about this? These people are in their minds, they're in their ears, they're in their hearts. Like it's obscure to us, you know, or from the outside of it, you know, it kind of is like Gucci gang, Gucci gang, Gucci gang. But it's just like if you're a 16, 15-year-old
Mm-hmm.
and like you just know Lil Pump's 16 years old, his parents don't like him, or he disagrees with his parents, but he just does what he wants. He makes music and da 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 da. Not to say that he's like the example that all 16-year-olds should be following, but you could see why a 15-year-old or 14-year-old would be like, hell yeah, like and if that's their first musical experience, that's what they're gonna base. That's how they're gonna define what they consider good for the rest of their lives. And that's one thing. That's a so that's why I can't even be like, oh,
David.
this ain't suck, because like he just going because he has all these people. I mean, like people aren't the only reason, but you know what I'm saying? It's like it's still a gift to communicate and like really like reach the masses. And it's like, you know, we're just seeing that gap. We're like
That
experiencing it right now. Cause the
that
difference, cause the rappers that like we were just talking about, like the J. Cole's, like they're still rapping and they're still putting out. And then weirdly enough, they're getting on songs with these dudes. It's like whole new, like it's a weird time in rap
different
right now,
avenues.
you know? Oh yeah.
That
But
was a
definitely there's a lot of
very good
bullshit
point.
too.
There's definitely a lot
I'm
of
not going cap like there's no bullshit. There's some bullshit too.
like TikTok songs. Like, you think those are bullshit?
It depends. So I think if a song was made specifically for TikTok, like there's certain flows and cadences that you could hear where it's like clearly it's like do this that,
Yeah,
then do this
yeah,
that.
like little
Like it's
small
like
fast beats that you can, get on
yeah,
track and get a little thing.
heck yeah. Like I'm not a huge fan of that, but if you got the right producer, I'm saying no, they can't even cap on you, right? Because I think
Yeah,
honestly, I feel I was one of the TikTok doubters, bro. Like you heard it, like I was one of the TikTok doubters. Like I was like, they trying to be mine, like whatever. Now my ass will like, I was looking at a fucking. I don't have a dog, bro, and I don't even. I'm not crazy about dogs. I was scrolling through a pit bull TikTok for an hour yesterday. Like it was 2 a.m. I looked up, it was like 3:15. I was like, what? I went through their whole page, bro. I was like,
but
bruh, like,
it's just that addictive though, like social media. Because
mm,
like kind of
oh
to your
yeah,
point, which is a very good what's the word I'm looking for? Like a very good perspective. Like, because TikTok is meant for the people who are like 15 to 20. Like they're meant for the young. Like I personally, like, I don't know if it's because the way my mind is set up or if like I'm older or what it is. But it's like I can't get into TikTok. Like I've tried to make one and it's just too much work. And like,
oh
you
yeah.
know, like my friends send me the videos and the videos be funny, but like I don't open up my
I have the urge to go look for them. Just like, yeah.
literally have zero urge to open up the TikTok to go look at them and like scroll and laugh and like you said with the whole dog thing, right?
Mhm.
Like I'm a Twitter nigga, as we both know. Like I'm a Twitter nigga.
Oh yeah.
So,
Honestly, that's where I see most of my TikToks, Twitter and Instagram, to be honest.
most of my TikToks come from my friends sending me TikToks because like
Mhm.
they know like I'm really big on dark humor. Like we both know.
Oh,
But
come on.
they'll send me dark humor and I'll be like, Jesus, man, that's like, oh my God, that's so dark. Like, is this what's on
Yeah.
TikTok?
You seen Trey Rags?
No, what's that? Oh, is that
Bro.
the like yes, bro. That nigga is tripping. That nigga is tripping, bro.
Wow.
That nigga
Bro.
is
I think
tripping,
he's
bro.
hilarious though. I think he's hilarious though.
Yeah,
I think he's so funny.
but that just kind of goes to your point though, like, when you make music for that age group, because like when you're 16, 17, 8, like your attention span is like very, you know what I'm saying? Like if you
Mhm.
don't have it
So it's
within,
like, do you want a 3-minute song
or
even
do you
on
want
your
like a
playlist?
minute 60-second song and like I grab your attention and you can just because you don't even have to, like for views to count, you don't have to listen to like the full thing. It's like half of it.
Just like 30 seconds.
30 seconds? Okay, so it's like 30.
Yeah, it's
I know
just
on
30
YouTube
seconds
it's
for
like
sharing.
I know on YouTube it's like half. So I don't know what the rules for TikTok are,
And the volume has to be on for sure.
Yeah.
Because that's
So
a lot of these,
like,
they
you
expose a lot of these
just
major labels.
yeah, man, you just do those little, and then especially like they'll pay influencers on TikTok to like play their songs, and then not like
Mm.
everyone's playing them because on TikTok you can like take the voice or whatever, like the sound in the back and copy it and like put it on your own video. I didn't know you
You
could do
know,
that. Yeah.
make your little challenge and stuff. Like, bro, no, I'm telling you, bro, TikTok, really what they do is like they just help people skip so many video editing steps. And I think that's one thing that's like, oh my God, like you really realize, yo, like TikTok, when I started making TikToks, I just started using iMovie more because I was like, yo, like it's basically teaching me the basics. Like I know which effects I'm gonna add there. Like, I don't know, like it's just so user friendly. And I feel like one thing that came to making creative content, like especially with social media, is just like it wasn't easily accessible. Like, you know, not everybody knew how to do that stuff, but like TikTok, it's like anybody could like string together 4 or 5 videos. And like I feel like TikTok's what made them really realize that, which is weird.
Yeah, you're kind of right about that with the whole social media thing because
Mm-hmm.
it is almost impossible to now be considered an influencer if you're just now starting, if you're on like Twitter or if you're on like Instagram, like it's unless you buy your followers and then slowly get more followers like that way. Cause like, oh, he has 30,000 followers. I'm gonna follow him. Like, if you don't do it that way, it's almost impossible to like naturally become an influencer because like everything's kind of just set in place, right? Because
Oh,
even
yeah.
even like when people hit me up for like photography and like how to edit and things like that, like they'll tell me, they'll be like, dang, I can't believe that you don't have more followers, or I can't believe that X, Y, and Z. Because like when I post a picture like on Instagram like that I retouched, or like someone, like it'll get posted by like 80 people,
Mm-hmm.
like people
Like
like
on
people
that
that,
reshare.
yeah, like on the video, like there's been times where like I've scrolled and it's been like 50, 60, 70, 80 people. And like people that I don't even know be like, I can't believe like you're not more famous. But it's like, why don't you follow me? But I don't really care about numbers
Yeah,
like
hey,
that.
that's it, man. That's
But
the
yeah,
thing. The conversion is always the bitch of artistry, bro. Oh my God.
man, it's the
Like,
worst because like even with me having like bigger clientele now, because like I've done work with like Miss Georgia, you know what I'm saying? Like
oh
that's
shit.
yeah, it's pretty big, and she's
Flex on them. What?
you know what I'm
Talk
saying?
your shit.
But yeah, like she's even trying to put me on like in the actual Miss Georgia like pageant thing, right? And so it's
That
like
would be
even
lit for you, bro.
yeah, that would be very lit. But even then though, it's not like that shouldn't be your goal with social media, you know what I'm saying? Like it should really be like the work behind it. Like, are you actually making money from it? Are you actually getting your brand out there? What, like it can be used for that stuff, you know what I'm saying? Because like that's a part of it. Like, do you have a website? Do you have a professional email? Like, do you reply to people? You have like a phone, you have a number, all these things that go
Mm-hmm.
with it. Because I noticed that when I got my website for my photography, that's when my clientele started going up, because like you look more professional, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And then
When you
people,
got you, especially in the bio, it just say your name
oh, it's like,
dot com. It's like, all
ooh,
right, okay.
design.com is so sexy. But I kind of want to touch on that aspect of you with music as well. Is like, so what do you think is needed for, because you've been in the game like what? I want to say like 7, 8 years.
All right. About to be next year will probably be actually, yeah, 7 to 8 is more accurate because when I was just starting, I wasn't even really in the game.
No, I mean like
I
when
was
you
rapping.
were like die hard, because I remember there would be even times where we would have like, well, not we, but you would have like song parties. Like you're like, yeah, I just made a song. Everyone come over and like listen to like, we'll drink and we'll go out, and like, you was getting the gigs at the frat houses, and then you went from the frat houses to what you,
Local small
yeah,
shows and
it
like
wasn't Tabernacle, it was
masquerade.
Masquerade. We went to Masquerade a few times. Like you try to get like, bigger and bigger. Then you try to do like little venues and little local places. Then I think you actually toured, right? Did you tour?
Oh yeah, I went on 2 tours, self-funded tours, which to me as an independent artist, I didn't fucking go 56 cities or whatever, but that's still like my most mind-blowing thing that I was able to do that for myself. I'm proud of that.
Yeah, that's good, man. Because even when I watch you perform, like when there's like a stream of artists, right? And even like when it's people that we know, like shout out Jay Newton, you feel me?
Yes, sir.
Like I noticed that like when you perform, like the crowd goes crazy. Like I think outside of being an artist, you're also a performer. You're not just like an artist.
Oh.
Because like
You
they're
you know
artists.
where you my first stage was like my first times on stage was not, I mean, I had a microphone, but I was acting, I love theater. Like I was going to BestCon. We was in BestCon, bro. Like
Yeah,
that's really where we became close. Like, 'cause you're like, wait, we're both in this theater. You do tech, and it was just like, oh, you actually care about this? You actually care? Because we was around a lot of people who was playing. You know what I'm saying?
going in because I had to help build that boat that you did for
Bro,
that was a really good play. That was
I
actually
still got that crayon, bro. I
dang.
still got it. I
That's
was gonna
good.
bring it to the new crib, but I don't have it. I'm gonna put it in the studio. Thank you for saying that, because it's in my garage at my parents' house. I'm about to grab that shit, bro.
But
That
yeah,
was like,
so
see, theater, bro.
but yeah, so like do you think that you being a performer helps you be a better artist?
Oh yeah, because there's even times where I'd literally be doing the same warm ups that we'd be doing in drama class and fucking rehearsal. I'd be doing that by myself before a show. Everybody in the green room kind of like, this nigga touching his toes, like, you know what I'm saying? But like, it was just like, I would be like, I got into that same mindset. I would be like, warm up, deep breaths, doing my like, red leather, yellow leather, red leather, yellow, like everything that I did when I was getting ready to go at, I would apply that to rapping, because I feel like it's the same. Like, you know, Bokery is Beauregard, but Beauregard is like, he's definitely different. Like I feel different. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like my tone, everything is just different when I'm really Beauregard. So like, by all means, he's a character, but it's like, it's the character that in my mind is my most authentic self, if that makes sense.
Yeah, that actually does make sense because like I've seen you go from in the nicest way possible, like an insecure, very reserved, very, I'm gonna let them talk and let them plan it everything, to you going to like you yelling at me and being like, Devin, shut the fuck up. I'm like, whoa, like sometimes it happens, and in my mind I'd be like, bro, I should slap this nigga. Like
Oh my God. But you're like, I respect
yeah,
it.
yeah, and I think you being Beauregard has helped you with that a lot because
Oh yeah.
like you're you're a mental health advocate, right?
Oh, very much so. Like, I'll advocate for anyone, my worst enemy. You know what I'm saying? Even to this day, like most of the time when I get really, really upset, like yeah, because we be having talks, we be like, man, this person pissed me off. I'm just like, nah, but like low key, they could have been going through some shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't like to use it as a blanket cover all excuse for everything, but I definitely acknowledge, like, it's just one of those things, man. Like, you either have the strength or you don't, and it's valid if you don't. You know what I'm saying? And I just that's like my stance on like but as someone who has, like, experienced mental health issues, artistry, self-expression, catharsis, those were so great for my confidence in my show. Like, kind of like, just because a lot of time, I'd be kind of going through the motions, kind of on some like, you know, that you get in your head when you have anxiety. Like, you start thinking like, like, I'm clearly like annoying everybody here. Half the time they have no opinion on your presence. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
but you're just making it like, fuck, like, I'm ruining this fucking party. Like, I need to go home. I need to just smoke, go to sleep. I'm not gonna,
Yeah.
but like, it took a while for me to like love myself, and it started with me loving my music, like really loving what I was making and being like, yo, I'm capable. Like, it's okay for me to be hard on myself, but with that comes like, when I in the split second meet that little expectation that I set for myself, I need to acknowledge that I hit that. And like, I wasn't doing that. Like, I'd be doing shit and like, I'd be working, having a great session, and I'd go home and be upset. Like, great show, go home. And then I was like, nah, I need to really like celebrate my win a little bit. Like, don't fucking coast it. And like, yeah, 4 years later, yeah, I had this one show. It was lit. Like, keep going. But it's just like, if I don't celebrate my
Ours
wins,
right now.
what the fuck?
I like that. Celebrate the little wins. I think that's very important because I definitely. So when I first started photography, I was like, okay, how do I get to the level of, you know, he's like Alan Cooley, right? He's a beauty photographer in Atlanta. Like he does work for like Shea Moisture. He's done like cologne work. He's done work for like Cantu. Like he makes millions.
Ooh.
Like like he could retire right now and live the same life he's living now. But he likes to give a lot of advice. I mean, yeah, he charges for it, but he charges cheaper rates than everyone else because he just wants to put people on. Like he even asked for internships and like he'd be asking, like, hey, is there a makeup artist who needs, blah, 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 blah. But yeah, like
Like, he cares about the art community.
oh my God, what he cares about like he was even sending out money during the pandemic when when people were getting hurt, like when people were not getting, because I didn't get a gig, because okay, so when the pandemic hit in 2020, I had about 20 or 30, I want to say like 32 like grad shoots lined up. They all
Ooh.
canceled, and I sent most of their deposits back. One of the ones that asked for it, I definitely sent them back because I was like, like I understand, like, because we don't know what's going on, like it's a pandemic, like, it is what it is. And so when that
Ooh, I
happened,
know that hurt though.
oh my
Oh,
God, bro, I was like, not even outside the money, I would just like, so I actually become friends with my clients, but we'll talk about that in a second. But yeah, like when all that happened, he sent out money to like photographers. Like I don't know how much he sent out, but he definitely sent out money to like a bunch of people. Cause he definitely sent me like $100. Like,
damn,
yeah, just like he just
that's
he
real.
like he's just really, really cool. But
I like that.
but yeah, like with my clients, like, yeah, I get paid for it, but I like to be very affordable for my clients. Like, and not to knock anyone's price. Your price is your price. And as long as someone's willing to pay it, I guess you're worth it. I'm not going to say anything different because, that's disrespectful. But I personally like to be affordable to my clients. Like I like to give them the best quality they can get for the price that I'm giving, because like some people like they'll book me and they'll be like, oh, that's it. I'm like, I mean, yeah, like, I could raise it like if you want me to, but it's like, I don't want to do that because I really want it to be like a mutual thing, like a mutual beneficiary thing between me and my clients. Like, yeah, you're paying me for a job, but I want you to have like experience. Like I bring like all my gear. I bring like 90% of my gear whenever I do like a grad shoot or like a product
You
shoot.
want them to feel like they really
I want
a
them.
model today.
Yes, like I want you to feel like you're the best model. Like, because even the parents when they come, right? It's like a lot of parents come to their children's shoots because a lot of them are like first generation in college, like they've never done a birthday shoot or they've never done, something like this, or like they just now started their business and people will come for support. And I want them to feel like they're getting the best treatment possible. Like I come my little portable change thing. I got my big flash and like the big metal pole. And I can hear the parents be like, oh, this nigga legit. Oh shit. Like,
Oh yeah.
because I know in the community, like Black people are kind of scared about getting scammed by stuff like this. They're like, you shouldn't pay a couple $100.
Me,
Yeah.
we are dead. I feel like we on that same. We and like I can testify. Hell yeah. I mean that, like, bro, Kanye West could be on FaceTime with me, flying me out on a private jet. I'm gonna be like, how did these niggas do this shit? I'm not like, I'm like, how the fuck, man? These niggas fly with that Photoshop, huh? Like,
yes, bro. Yes, bro. And so, I just really want my community because I end up becoming friends with a lot of my clients. Like I've had clients invite me to like their graduations, like their birthday, what I'm saying? Like we don't text, but like, they'll DM me and I'll DM them, like little comments on pictures and things like that. And like I'll like there are actually some of my clients that I become like genuine friends with. Like I'm trying to think of one right now. Like this one girl named Celeste. I literally met her on Twitter.
Oh yeah, I've seen. Oh, you take 5 pictures of her, by the way.
Yeah, she's, oh my God, she's a genius. she has like a 3.9 like GPA at Georgia State or something like that. Like she was a genius. Yes, yes. Like she's
We're
really
not talking about my GPA. That's the only thing off limits today. All right. No.
yeah, man. She's super gorgeous, like amazing skin, great teeth. And outside of like her being like very, very pretty, like she's extremely nice. Like she, at least to me and the people that I've seen her interact with, like she's been so nice. You know what I'm saying? So it's definitely
Her
been
worst enemy
people.
watching this, just like she can't keep getting away with this.
Her haters are like, man, I fucking hate this bitch. Got this nigga over here hyping her up. I hate her so
Like,
much. But
she has
that,
them fooled. They don't know the real her.
yeah, yeah, man. But yeah, like I just want people to, because I don't know, I'm really down for the, as you know, I'm down for like all black. Like I'm just down for the community. Like who was that one person that said it during the awards? I'm rooting for everyone black. That'd be me.
Mm-hmm.
I'd be rooting for everyone
Yeah.
black, bro. I just be rooting for everyone black. Cause like I think that people, and not trying to get political, but I just think that we put ourselves on the back burner for everyone else. You know what I'm saying?
We very often, and like not even on purpose, which is even worse. Like
He's just so
it
nice.
just be,
People.
it just feels natural
Oh my
sometimes
God,
to,
man.
and I'm just like, nah, we don't have to be we don't have to accept lesser. Actually, like it's okay for us to want the
And be
same
selfish a
or
little
even
bit.
more. Like everybody
Yeah.
wants more. Like you know,
Yeah, and like that's why I do sometimes I do like these little days of challenge where I do like 10 days of Ghana or like 5 days of black men or like 4 days of black women or whatever like that. Because I like to show off the culture. Like as you know, like my friend group is like African American black folk and is like, oh, black American and
becoming
African.
more African now.
Yeah, like mine actually no, it's kind of even now. Because last
Okay.
year, I got put in a group chat with a bunch of like black folk, and like I was actually missing that piece of me. Like I was extremely
No.
missing it because like I was around that. Don't get me wrong, down with the culture, like like you're African. You know what I'm saying? Like you're African as
Yeah.
fuck. Remember the lunches you used to bring to school? I used to be like, what the fuck?
I just, oh yeah. These stinking sweets. I love it.
Yeah. But yeah, for those of you who don't know, Bo is actually Sierra Leone. Or not is, but like, that's where his mom comes from and all that stuff. But yeah, like, last year I was missing that piece of me because I felt like I didn't have any like black American friends. It's just like you and like or Jalen and like Mal, things like that. But I got put in this group chat with these black folk and like I don't know, things got kind of better for me. Cause like I
Oh
started
yeah.
to, like when you're in the culture,
You get comfortable.
you get very comfortable, you know what I mean? And then like you can make little jokes and you're like, oh yeah, I grew up this way and blah, blah, blah. And like black people, like they give you nicknames off rip. So
Oh yeah.
they be like Manny. So not like even my African friends call me Manny or man now. Like it didn't happen
Man,
until
man.
man,
You
man.
ain't got man, man yet.
No, no, yeah. I think that's a little too hood for me. I think that's a little too hood for me. But yeah, even now, like they call me Man or Manny, and like that's kind of like how this podcast came about. Like King Don, he would call me, man. He'd be like Man versus the world, on the Twitter line again, or just in general arguing and things like that. But yeah, man, the culture, super down with the culture. Are you ever gonna make an Afrobeat song?
I've been experimenting, like, because I have some songs where I tiptoe dangerously close, and I've been featured on some Afrobeat songs. I've been featured on some, but it's just like I just want when I do it, I don't want it to feel inauthentic or gimmicky. Like I just don't want it to be like mid, like Afrobeats is up. All right, I gotta get an Afrobeats track. You know what I'm saying? Like, just because people see right through that shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
But
don't like
definitely like, yeah. My cousin Cliff, bro, so crazy with like the Afrobeat like hooks and songs and stuff like that. Like I like to work with him a lot. And like he's like he honestly him, even my cousins, like that's one thing. I know a lot, or maybe growing up, I knew a lot of Africans that were ashamed to be African,
Mm.
which like as a kid, no cap, I don't know if it's because I was so sheltered. I really did not understand why. Like people would be like, you finna roast me. They'd be like, African booty scratcher. I'd be like, yeah, I just scratched my butt. It was itching. Like I was just so out of it as a kid. Like
This
I'd be like,
nigga had
yeah, like
zero context.
I
He
am
was
African.
yeah,
Yeah, like what's
what?
up? Like, yeah, that's me. Like abs. Like,
You know, it's
but
crazy,
like, I
bro.
don't know.
I remember everyone calling everyone an African booty scratcher though. Like
I was
maybe
just
that's just
like,
my
yeah,
experience
I guess.
because I was definitely called an
I
African booty
mean,
scratcher.
and I mean, first of all, it's racist. Like if you're not,
Yeah.
if you don't look like me, if you don't look like us, you definitely don't need to say that shit. You know what I'm saying? But really, it's an outdated term for a reason. But like, it's just like, I don't know. I feel like it's definitely different now. Like, I feel like people are so like proud to like know, like, hey, this is history that like they tried to erase. But one of my favorite things is when I see like a Black American like kind of update, like, yo, I did my ancestry. I just found out I'm Nigerian. I'm about to like look up this. I'm about to look up that. And I don't know, like that's just some wholesome shit to me, man. Because when you think about how much history was lost, like I felt like there was a point. I mean, there was a point in time where niggas really thought like, yeah, like to that slave owner, that's about all I'll know about my lineage, and that's
Facts.
and now we have that technology, we have these records, like despite the purposeful erasure, what I'm saying, of our history. But like, so I get excited when I see folks get excited about that kind of stuff.
Yeah, and the crazy thing about the African culture is like, at least at our high school, the Africans that we knew were like African. Like you were bringing the lunch, you were wearing the
Oh
clothes,
yeah.
like you was in like Ijama. Like I was like, oh yeah, they're Nigerian as fuck. Like they're
Oh
Nigerian.
yeah.
But then I didn't know
You
that like
can't.
in other parts of, I don't want to say the world, but like Georgia, like it wasn't like that. Like they weren't like, people weren't really like, I guess, quote unquote, like, African or Nigerian or
Oh
Ghanaian or
yeah.
whatever. Like they were like kind of hiding it. And then like they got to college and like it was kind of cool, quote unquote. And then like, people started like repping it for real, for real. Like I didn't know that because like
Oh yeah.
because like, I guess our high school was kind of like ethnic, quote unquote. Cause like, yeah, we had white people,
Yeah.
but we had like, Mexicans and we had like Asian people, like, and we
We
had,
even had non-Catholics.
yeah, that was really
Like
weird.
we had like some Muslim kids in there. Like I know there was one Jewish kid. Or but
Yeah,
yeah, like
like we were like very, like they were very, what's the word? They wanted us to like, I guess, embrace like our ethnic
oh yeah.
diversity or whatever. Because I remember like when you would come in traditional, like you were like, yeah, this is like kind of what I wear like weddings and stuff. I'm like, yo, this kind of
Mhm.
it's kind of fresh, like rocking this
All
shit.
right. And on white until I fuck it up.
Yeah, like so I'm actually going to Ghana in December. Yeah, I'm going to Ghana to say
Hey,
first trip to thank you. First trip to Africa is going to be
hey,
nuts.
congrats, bro. You gonna have so much fun, bro.
Bro, everyone, I don't want to say I'm nervous, but I just want to
Okay, I'm not gonna raise your expectations.
I
It's a
don't
vacation.
yeah, like I just don't know what to expect because I keep hearing like two sides, right? So it's people like you who like, oh yeah, bro, you gonna be lit, like you gonna be turned up. They gonna love you there. You gonna be all the food, like you gonna be out partying in clubs. And there's people who's like, I can't wait till you go because you gonna be so mind blown. And I'm like, what do you mean, like?
Mind blow. Oh
Yeah, I'm
Lord,
like, I'm
what are you
scared, bro. What are
manifesting
you
for me,
talking
Nini?
about?
Like,
Like, I kind of want to, be happy. I don't know what's going on right now,
yeah,
but
I want my expectations to be met. Like that's
yeah.
I'm cool with that. Like,
But I'm actually excited to really
uh,
go to Ghana because like I actually want to visit multiple parts of Africa because like a lot of my friends are from different countries. Because like even also like like I'm gonna go to Nigeria, but it's not about Nigeria. Like it's about like the other countries too. Like I want to go to like some East African countries because I have like some Ethiopian
oh yeah,
friends, some Eritrean friends. I have friends from Gambia. Shout out Gambia. I got friends from like
my neighbors again.
Cameroon. Yeah, man, I got friends from like all over, like Guinea, you know what I'm saying? So I kind of want to visit like all of their countries because I just want to know what it's like to be them, but like in the opposite shoe, right? Because every day they live here in America. And I want to know, okay, how do they feel like if I was living there, where they're from? Like, because it's easy to be, I guess, a black person in America because like you're so used to it. You know what I'm saying? Like you grew up around the culture, you grew up around your friends, like everything like that. But I want to be a black person in a culture that's not mine. Like I want to be the outcast and see what it feels like for, like I want to be the minority for once.
Mm.
Yeah,
I mean, not for once.
bruh, not like that
Not for
was
once.
pretty clever. But yeah, that was pretty clever. But I want to ask you
I
about
know
your
what you mean, though.
yeah. Like, do you think your culture has made a big influence on you with your music, how you become as a person? You know, like because even Beauregard, like Bokery, like I see the resemblance.
Yeah, I would say like it it makes itself the most known, in my opinion, in like my beat selection, because like I like, and it's my most annoying trait is like I'm trying, because I always say this word tribal. Ugh. Because like I'll be working with a producer and be like, "What are you feeling?" I was like, but that's honestly just like that's my favorite type of drum pattern, and just like rhythm is just like I want it to sound tribal. Like you could march to war together on this shit. You know what I'm saying? Like which that's like I don't know if that's some latent African warrior roots in my blood or some shit. Like
Man is a
but like
Zulu warrior.
right. But definitely one way that it makes itself present, and like I very much appreciate it, is like, and not to say that any other culture has less respect, but it's just like one thing that I've noticed is like African households like put an extra emphasis on like the way you talk to people. Like, you know what I mean? Like maybe it don't go both ways from the old to the youth, but they make sure the youth is respectful. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
that's just one thing I've noticed is like I like I don't know, like it's just sometimes when you're bringing an African to your crib, just the way they'll be like, "Oh, is your mom home? I gotta go say hi to your mom before we start hanging out." Because and it's not even. I mean, yeah, they're being thoughtful, but it might be also trauma. You know what I'm saying? It might be like, so like, I'll tell you in my house. It's like like so it's just like
Uh-huh.
there's just so much like little courtesies and like stuff like that that I feel like I've picked up just from being like in an African household, and like maybe some aspects of like work ethic, but mainly in like my music taste. Like I listen to African music like today. Like honestly, I listen to more Nigerian artists though. I like Emerson is like he was like the biggest like Sierra Leonean star. Like he like even and I got to open for him one time when he came to Atlanta. But like
Gangster.
yeah. Funnily enough, his last name is my first name.
Amara? Oh wait,
No,
Emerson?
Boker. Yeah,
Buggery.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
So wait,
And I
his
literally
last name
know
is
three
Bogery?
people who have that name. Yeah,
Is Bogery a common name in Sierra Leone?
not e- for not even, and it's honestly it's for good reason, unfortunately, because like main reason my parents left, there was like a civil war like in the '90s, like we were just kind of like getting out of there, but like one of the one of the bad people who's kind of like leading the rebels in this fight was his name was Sam Bokery, and like
Uh,
they often compare him to a lot of bad people. But like at the time I was named,
your name is evil.
it's like I'm named after my grandfather had that name, but like since then, it's definitely not a common name at all. Like, what I'm saying? It would be like, I don't want to say it would be the direct result of this, but it's probably why you're not gonna really meet that many niggas named Adolf. You know what I'm saying? It's like it's a traditional German name. Your grandfather might be named that, but we
You know,
might let it go. You know what I'm saying?
it's crazy. That's Dolph's name.
Really?
Yeah,
Adolf?
like young Dolph. That's
Like
his name.
ADOLF.
Dog. It's so fun. Like when I found that out, because he would say his name, like, so his name is Dolph Gak. I can't even say his last name because it's so like long, but it's like Dolph
That
Gakubana. But his real
ah,
first name is Adolf. And that's where he got Dolph from. Because
mm,
it's part of his first name. So that's how
yeah,
and like he
it's
started
Dolph.
yeah, and he started rapping when he was like, I think like 17 and that's how he became Young Dolph. So he was Young Dolph from like
Okay.
17 to like 30 something. And now he's go by
Bro,
Dolph.
that nigga been doing everything his whole life, bro. I was at one music fest, bro, and he said this one bar about like I was getting my dick sucked when I was 6 or some shit. I
Oh
was like,
yeah.
yo, dog, is that a cry for help? No, bro.
Oh man, some of these artists actually do like Future. They be saying Future be crying for help, like in his songs.
that's
Yeah, man.
definitely that's definitely a cry for help, but it'd be lit.
It do be lit.
It be lit. You know what
Like
I'm saying?
who is it? Abel, The Weeknd.
Oh man.
Yeah, man.
Whew.
And see,
I be
like that's
debating
what
because
I
you know I'm
was.
our mental health awareness, but like if it make you do that, no, I'm playing. Obviously, I don't feel that way.
But like that kind of goes back to my point that I named at the very beginning is like when artists have like great music like that, they're on drugs or like they're going through something like very depressing or like a heartbreak or someone died in their life. And like that be the best music because like you actually put yourself into it. Because you can tell when an artist made a song just to make a song because they're on a contract.
But
You
don't
know what I'm
forget,
saying?
good music comes from genuine happiness too, and genuine celebration, not always just pain.
That's very true. You're absolutely right
So
about
it's
that.
just strong emotions in general. Like when you can tap, because you know, bro, you telling me. I mean, Kirk Franklin might have been through some stuff, but I feel like it's the joy that I get in the studio. You know, you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
He's acknowledging his joy when his songs like, yeah, it'd be a battle, you know, but like, yeah, it's just certain. Yeah, nah, but that, oof,
Do
oof.
you want to do you want to get signed? Do you want to get a contract, or are you trying to be like Prince to be like solo?
Um, so a there are certain deals and contracts I would like, or really I would like to get into partnerships. Like ideally, if I was to sign away and not be an independent artist anymore, like the way my terms would have to be met to a T, people wouldn't even like, you know what I'm saying? Like it would almost be like nothing changed but my budget. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And they get their cut. Like that's the only, but like as of now, like only deals I'm interested in are like distribution and stuff like that. Because like with that 360 shit, bro, honestly, I think I'm a good actor still. And I think, you know, when I don't want to freaking be in no situation where it's like, oh, we signed you as a rapper 360. I start acting and I start getting, you know, whatever roles and like, then it's like, yeah, damn, Marvel, we'll take that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's, you know, I never want to be in a position where it's like, I'm resenting doing what I love. So that's the ultimate goal.
That's good to hear because I've always wondered, what was your end goal? Because like I've seen you grow over the years. Like I've seen you grow, from doing small concert at Oxford with like 50 people, to do
Tavern parties.
yeah, to doing like, full stages like a few hundred, you know what I'm saying, where people that I don't even know your songs. You know what I'm saying? Like people were like, I've been in the crowd. I'm like, I have no idea who at least 3/4 of these people are. And they still get his songs better than I know. I was like, hold up, what is going on right now? It's very weird. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, very big things and very good things coming to you because like you be putting the work, you know what I'm saying? Like I was saying earlier, like, do you rap or are you a rapper? There's two different things.
Exactly.
Like, even in my profession, like so when I give advice to photographers, I give them like the harsh truth. I'd be like, yo, bro, like, it's gonna take you a minute to get there, but you can get there. You know what I'm saying? That kind of weeds out the people who are trying to get there quick and the people who are trying to like actually do it. Because like I personally give free advice. Like I don't like when people withhold the information from other people.
Yeah.
And like I get it. If you want to charge for classes, that's perfectly fine. Do you, my bro? And even gonna hate at it. But if someone's asking you, like reply to them, give them the information. Like they're clearly a beginner and they want to get into the market. Because trust me, especially if you live in Atlanta, it's enough for everyone to eat, bro. Like it's enough for everybody. We live in Atlanta, bro. There's over 1 million people in Atlanta.
Oh yeah. But I will say with that, there's certain questions that can come off as disrespectful though. Like for example, me knowing how much work you put into photography, let's say you post tomorrow like, yo, I just got booked for like 10K, 20K, you know, like for 1 hour just to do this shit. If I'm a beginning photographer and the first question I ask you is how do I get 20K? That's like, nigga, you've been following me, so like, don't, it's like I worked for it,
I
like,
feel
yeah.
you.
But
I
if it's
feel
a
you.
specific question like how do I get started, hell yeah, don't be holding nuts on that kind of shit. I don't like when niggas do that.
Yeah,
But like when it's like major accomplishment that's clearly from years of work, who it is, what's the catch, like, you know how that comes off, you know?
Yeah, and that kind of like that even kind of goes into what I was saying about weeding out the people, you know,
Yeah, exactly.
because like so 90% of the questions I get from new upcoming like photographers is be like, yo, how did you get this shot? I'd be like, all right, this is what I did. Like I posted, so there was just the homecoming tailgate that we had at Kennesaw, and I got the shot of all the alphas. I think it's strolling. I got all the alphas strolling, but it was when they were jumping mid-air together, like all at the same time. And it was my homie Justice in the front, and like all his brothers were, I don't know if they were his brothers, but all the people in his chapter was like behind him. And so they were all jumping. And it looked super fun. It's like, yo, you had, but I was like, yo, like you can't be afraid to get the shot. Like you can't be afraid to, you know, even when you're at a wedding or even when you're at
that's my roommate Josh, by the
way. What's up, Josh? But even when you're you know, at like doing a product event or you know, doing a grad shoot, like there's been grad shoots where I've done where like I'm like, nah, stand on this and like let's do this, and I promise it'll look cool. And like, you know, they don't see the vision, but then like the picture comes out, they're like, oh yeah, like you know exactly what you like, you're fine. And so like that's that's the way to weed out photographers too, because people who ask like, hey, how'd you get this shot? Or like, how did you do this? Or like, what camera do I need to start off with? Or like, what information can you give me? Like sometimes I do get the like, how much money can I make? Like I do get that. And I'd be like, all right, bro, you're not gonna last this long because you're in it for the money. But the people that
I'm only in this for money. And so what is it? Yeah. What's the deal? Like
the people that be asking me like those genuine questions, I'm like, okay, yeah, like you're probably been in this industry for a few years. Cause like my end goal with photography is to like one, get my own studio. I'm gonna cap. COVID definitely pushed me back a lot. Mainly because like that whole 2020, like I almost did no shoots. Like I think I did like a few grad shoots and like a wedding. Yeah, I did like a wedding, some pre-wedding photos, a few grad shoots, and like a few birthday shoots. Like nothing compared to what I did this year in 2021. You know what I mean? So like,
you make a move now.
Yeah, money saved, and like there was a lot of actually like restrictions on people buying stuff because like you know a lot of things weren't open, and people were like, yeah, I'm shut down. Like you can't even blah blah blah. Like I was like, oh my god, it's super serious. But yeah, like my thing is to eventually get my own studio, and then just to be like a professional photographer. And I also want to do real estate too. But like that's really my goal with photography, man. Like you know, trying to be out here grinding. You know, hopefully shoot an album cover for you one day.
Bro, ain't no hopefully. No, I will say like watching your passion grow for photography has been one of my favorite aspects of being your friend. I'm not gonna lie, like it's like you're not hard-hearted by any means. You try to make people feel that way though, but like you know, I feel like photography is like the time where you really like and like of course between me and you, anime, steak, chicken wings, but like and if you know us. Don't even play with those three topics around us. Like straight up, do not. But yeah, I feel like photography would be your fourth horseman though. Like straight up. Like to say that mees a lot. It's so much out of context for y'all listening. If only y'all knew us. Like you know.
But yeah, like even with photography, bro, like I didn't think that I was gonna love it this much. And then like 2020 happened, and I took the class with Alan Cooley on like, you know, the business aspect of photography. And like I really went home and like got all the notes and applied it to my business. And like my business went off, like in my website, I market myself, you know, when I'm out, you know. And like sometimes, you know, I'll just have my camera with me taking pictures. And people are like, do you take pictures? I'm like, yeah, like blah, 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 you know, exchange information, whatever. Like, yeah, man, like and I'm constantly learning about it too. Like even now, like I just learned some new skin retouching stuff to make the skin look more natural and like more even. And like it's just so much that you can do that can always elevate you and put yourself, you know, into your craft. You feel me? Because like you can never stop learning. Like I think when you think that you stop learning is when you start to fail in your business. You know what I mean? Because even Michael Phelps, like he's the best swimmer in the world, like ever to ever exist, and he still had a coach. The best swimmer, even Usain Bolt, like the best runner in the world, like fastest guy ever to exist, still had a coach. You feel me? And I think that, you know,
had a team. Even in individual sports, you need a team. Exactly. That's really one thing.
Exactly, you need a team. But yeah, man, I just wanted to get you on the podcast because, you know, you're my brother, and I've been wanting to talk about, you know, something like this for a minute. Because I mean, you've been trying to get a podcast together for like a minute, right? Like almost like a year.
Yeah, bro. It's been, man, life been so hectic. I'm glad it's done. We're doing it now. So we in
Yeah,
the
and
now.
I'm glad that you were safe during COVID, bro. Like, I was actually worried about a lot of people during COVID. I was like, dang, like I hope no one like
Oh, yeah.
dies or gets sick that we know. And luckily, knowing
Oh,
that
yeah.
I knew that I was close with. Sorry if anyone died. R.I.P. Rest in power.
Of
But
course.
no, like knowing
Rest in
that
power.
we knew really died like that from COVID, and I'm super grateful that no one got hurt.
Yeah, no, it's like it's been, that's honestly just been a wreck for like all people. Like I feel like as artists, like we're thinking like, oh, like, but then like to really take the outside perspective, be like, damn, everybody kind of felt this shit. Is what really just makes it so obscure. Like we're still in this phase. Like the
Yeah,
history books are gonna be weird. Like and shit happened in 2020 or 2021. We was inside,
no,
and
fact.
some of us weren't. And those, I don't know. This is just such a weird period of time. Like I'm excited to see like my kids' reactions when they're like reading about this in their history books or history tablets, whatever the fuck, like
I was like, yeah, there's like
you're like,
5 nuclear wars, like 40
yeah,
million
like
people died. Like it was the worst time ever. Like, oh man, we got reset back. So like it was the Black Ages. It was the Black Ages. But yeah, man, before I have to let you go, is there any advice that you would give to any up and coming rappers or anything that you want to say, to get your final, voice out, whatever?
so gonna borrow a page from what you just said too about make sure that you're doing it for passion. If you're looking for quick results, quick return, it's not the industry for you. Not saying it's impossible, but if that is what it's based off of, it's not for you. You have to like just know that this has to mean something to you, because people can sense that and they can see that, and it honestly can outshine talent sometimes. So it's like really your work ethic, because it translates to talent after time. But like that's one thing that like will make somebody a fan of you and a supporter of you before you miraculously went viral, or oh, I just posted my snippets here and like I'm viral. Like really putting in work, really networking. Like don't be one of the like I said, even an individual athlete needs a motherfucking team. So it's like, don't go around being like, oh, like I don't do no feature, I don't do this. Like, get in there, get your toes wet. Like, if you're scared money don't make no money. And then this one dude just told me, he told me a great quote. He was just like, bro, no song has ever blown up off the hard drive. Put it out. Put yourself out
Ooh,
there, like straight up. No
ooh,
song has ever blown up off the hard drive. And that shit hit me like a damn arrow in between my eyes, bro. I was
oh
like,
my God.
cause like he was asking me like, he was like, oh, when's this coming out? When's the new shit? I was like, man, like I feel like I'm doing too much. I feel like no one cares, da da da. Because and there's gonna be times where you get insecure. So be ready to be your own biggest enemy, but you're also your biggest supporter and biggest fan and harshest critic. All that shit. Just know it's hard as fuck. You don't get to select the difficulty. It's just automatically legendary, limited ammo, limited health. Like make it work. So just know that.
That was a gangster bar. You can put that in a song. That was dope.
That
That was dope. But all right, man. Shout your social one time so people can follow you on Instagram.
Oh yes. So follow me at Sir Beauregard, SIRBOREGARD. That's on all of them shits: TikTok, Twitter, Insta, whatever. Freaking what else? And then my name once again is Beauregard, BOREGARD, with a period at the end. All services. Check out my videos, my music, and got a music video. I'll tell y'all the date. November 22nd, I'm dropping my music video for Beyonce Knows. So look out for that and subscribe to me, all that good stuff.
Like Beyonce knows. All right, man. That was Beauregard, aka Bokery. Said it backwards, but he is Beauregard.
All right.
But thank you so much for being on my podcast, bro. Much love to you. Can't wait for more music come out. Have a good night, bro.
Oh, yeah.